The scariest sound in war isn't an explosion. It's the sudden quiet when the last bullet is gone and the enemy is still coming. In that silence, World War II soldiers reached for whatever they had, whatever they could shape, and whatever fear could fuel into action. And if stories like this keep your curiosity burning, make sure you subscribe to the Forgotten Warfronts so these lost moments never fade again. The Last Bullet, Desperation's Forge. Ammunition shortages were not rare accidents in World War II. They were constant companions. Long supply lines snapped, units were cut off for weeks. Rain ruined powder. Retreats left men with empty rifles and pounding hearts. When the familiar roar of gunfire stopped, survival demanded something else. This was the moment where doctrine collapsed and instinct took over. Rifles became clubs. Explosives were dreamed up from scraps. Soldiers stopped thinking like trained infantry and started thinking like hunted men. The battlefield twisted into something raw and personal. Every broken building became a workshop. Every quiet pause felt like borrowed time. Across forests, cities, islands, and frozen plains, men learned that the fight did not end when ammunition did. It simply changed shape. From rubble to retribution, improvised explosives. Among the most infamous improvised weapons of the war was the Molotov cocktail. Its origins were darkly ironic. Born from necessity, it became a symbol of resistance when proper anti-armor weapons were unavailable. A simple bottle, flammable liquid, and ignition source turned desperation into fire. Crude, terrifying, and dangerously effective at close range, it was never safe for the person throwing it. That didn't matter. But the bottle was only the beginning. Soldiers and resistance fighters scavenged battlefields and ruins, repurposing tin cans, discarded metal, and abandoned explosives into makeshift grenades. These were unpredictable creations. Some failed completely. Others detonated too soon. Every use carried the risk of injury or death to the user, but the alternative was worse. The cost of this ingenuity was heavy. Improvised explosives lacked reliability and control, yet they bought time. They delayed advances. They forced caution. They reminded advancing forces that even an outgunned enemy could still strike back. When firearms became useless, the war snapped back to something ancient. Close-quarters combat returned with savage intensity. Shovels sharpened along stone edges became axes of survival. Bayonets stayed fixed long after bullets were gone. Knives meant for kitchens or utility belts were pressed into grim service. Soldiers modified tools in the quiet moments before contact. Handles were shortened. Edges were weighted. Balance was tested in hands slick with sweat. These were not elegant weapons. They were honest ones, heavy, personal, final. Facing an enemy armed with such tools carried its own terror. There was no distance, no warning crack of a shot, just sudden movement and violent resolve. The psychological impact was enormous. Rumours spread fast. Units slowed. Fear travelled ahead of the fighters who had nothing left to lose. When strength failed, patience took its place. Improvised traps became weapons that fought without hands. Soldiers turned terrain into an ally, shaping danger out of everyday surroundings. Doorways became threats, paths became questions, shadows became warnings. Booby traps were not just about causing harm, they were about denial, slowing an advance, forcing caution, making every step uncertain. Even when materials were scarce, creativity filled the gaps. Objects already present were altered just enough to surprise, frighten, and wound. The real power of these traps was psychological. An advancing force that expected resistance from rifles now feared silence. Progress slowed to a crawl. Every movement demanded inspection. Time was stolen from the enemy, and time was life. These improvised weapons were never meant to last. They were born from moments when defeat seemed inevitable. Yet they reveal something timeless. Human adaptability under pressure is extraordinary. When stripped of resources, people do not simply give up. They invent. Modern military thinking still echoes these lessons. Flexibility, improvisation, using the environment as a force multiplier. Unconventional tactics did not begin in modern conflicts. They were forged in the ruins and forests of the Second World War by soldiers whose names rarely appear in books. These were not celebrated engineers or famous commanders. They were tired, scared, determined individuals who refused to stop fighting just because the tools they were issued failed them. Their ingenuity bought seconds, minutes, sometimes days. Sometimes that was enough. History often remembers victories in sweeping movements and grand strategies. It forgets the quiet moments where survival depended on imagination. The men who turned rubble into resistance and tools into weapons were never meant to be heroes. They were simply unwilling to surrender to silence. Their legacy is not about violence. It is about resolve, about the refusal to accept helplessness. When ammunition ran out, they proved the fight could continue in other forms. If you believe these forgotten stories deserve a voice, subscribe to the Forgotten War Fronts and share this episode with someone who loves uncovering the hidden truths of history. Because the past still has lessons to teach, if we're willing to listen.